Welcome back, Royals. Happy Friday Eve. I hope you're having a good week. I have our co host introduce herself and then we will get started. The topic tonight is going to be on Cardi B. So, not only was she not guilty, let's talk about the reason why she should have never been in court if her lawyers would have handled it properly. I think it's a scam, but we'll have our co host introduce herself.
Hey y'all, it's delicious designs again coming at you.
Okay, so first, before we start, I don't know if everybody is aware that Cardi B, number one, was in court. She's in court or was in court in California as well, LA to be specific, not Pacific. And the case was frivolous as hell. So I will have the recap play. It is about 3 minutes, so get comfortable, listen to all the details, and then I want to see if Des can guess some of the things that I'm going to say. There are 5 things in particular. That most business owners should know. So this should help all of you. You shouldn't even be in court based on her mess. But let's see what happened.
And she said, "Oh my God, yo, Cardi B's here." So I kind of speed walk. I speed walk, but I feel her behind me. Then I hear her talking like, "Oh my God, Cardi B is here." So I turn around and she had her phone. She didn't have it here no more. Now she has it here. And I asked her, "Yo, why are you recording me?" And she clearly looked like the security. She looked like the security guard. She's uniformed down. And I'm like, "Why are you recording me? Are you security?" And she's like, "Oh my bad." But then I'm walking, and I feel her still following me. So like as I'm walking, speed walking, trying to look for the office, I turn around again. And I'm like, "Why are you following me?" She's like, "Cause I can." I was like, "No, you can't. Why are you following me for? Like, ain't you supposed to be security?" And she's like, "Cause I can." It was like, "No, you can't." And she's like getting closer and closer. Like now she's like in front of me where I can't even like really maneuver. And I'm like, "Ain't you supposed to be security? Like you grouped out, you recording me. You're recording me, now you following me. Like back up." And she's like, "I could do what I want." It's like, "No, you can. Like you can't do what you want." And that's when we started arguing.
And what did you say?
I was like, "You can't do what you want. Like what are you talking about? Like it's like you invading my privacy." And now we're like chest to chest practically. So I keep telling her like you need to back up. And I'm thinking to myself like, this girl is big. She's big. She got big black boots on. And I'm like, damn. The hell am I gonna do now? She's literally right in my face, like on my chest, and we're arguing. And I keep telling her to back up, but she's not backing up. And we arguing, cursing at each other. I did call her the B word. I did call her a bitch. Like, "Bitch, get out of my face." I did say, "Bitch, get the fuck out of my face. You're in my face. You're screaming in my face." We're like literally we're literally screaming at each other. And she kept telling me like, "You gonna leave my building?" I'm like, "I'm not leaving. Like, how you harassing me? I'm not leaving. Like, you telling me, how you telling me to leave? I came to see a doctor. You following me. You're recording me. I'm just trying to check my cat. You're recording me." And we're arguing. That's when the receptionist came out. She started wilding out like, "This bitch hit me. And I'm like, I did not hit her. I'm looking at her like, "Girl, I can't even hit you if I want to. You're bigger than me and you're pregnant." And she just started wilding out like, "This bitch hit me. Then the doctor came out and he's like, "Go to my office." And after that, I just walk away. And that's just that.
Are you aware in the city of Beverly Hills, if a security guard tells you to leave the building, which they are security of, you would be required to do that? Do you agree with that?
Objection, relevance.
A security not supposed to.
You don't need
Okay, so let me tell you some things before we start. Number one, There are no pictures of the security guard saying that she was hurt and has a scratch somewhere on her face because the scratch moved as she testified. There was no proof of a scratch. There were no pictures. She says she had them, but she deleted them. It's not written in any paperwork, and she was terminated. Um, what else is a surface fact? So no paperwork, no pictures, no report. She didn't report it. Um, so, as somebody who has worked before outside of working for yourself, what's the primary thing she probably did wrong and they shouldn't have even taken this case? Because it's five big things.
Well, for one, why was the security guard able to bring out her camera in the first place? To to tell anyone anything when you are supposed to be in leadership of protecting whatever we're doing, and your phone should be the last thing in your hands. For one. For two, where was Cardi's security?
In the car. She asked her to wait in the car because she was going to see a doctor about her special place.
Okay, so you on your way to the doctor,
Yeah,
and
he
your
was in there.
security
He was
stays in the
downstairs though.
okay, and your security stays in the car. I did kind of miss. I guess I couldn't really hear well what the beef was with the security guard in the first place, other than pulling out the camera.
That's
Why?
following her with the camera, and Cardi being like, "Why are you following me with that camera?"
And then where was the supervisor? Was there anyone else to call? Why didn't she go into the doctor's office and say something?
The doctors actually came out to her. They heard the noise. The doctor came out. Well, the nurse came out. The receptionist came out first and got in between them. The doctor heard how it escalated and also came out and told the security guard to get back on the elevator and don't be upsetting the patient and to go back downstairs. Because the security guard is on the fifth floor at this point, not even on floor one, at floor five.
Oh wow. Yeah. So how did we get in court? The security guard called herself pressing charges.
Because she said that Cardi scratched her on her face with her 3-inch nails. She scratched her and she called her the N word. She scratched her, she called her the N word, and she spit on her, were her claims.
I don't care if she did all of those things. Why were you following her? She was protecting herself.
So
Now, granted, I probably would have just walked right back out and got my own security. But yeah, I don't quite get where the security guard had any grounds to say anything after losing your job because you felt like Cardi, because you was a fan, was supposed to entertain you when that girl was going to check on her health. That's just a little
the health of
insane.
her baby.
That's
That,
even,
that
and
was
then the
an
fact that Cardi,
impromptu.
so it's Cardi that's pregnant.
So Cardi was pregnant. This was 2018. She was pregnant. She was out here and she didn't feel right. So she checked around to see who had a confidential doctor that she could go to. And the
Okay.
appointment was scheduled. They saw her last, and that's why she was the only one in there.
Oh,
So
so
that makes
that
it even worse for me. But
damn, that makes it bad for Cardi to like she didn't have no evidence of what she was having to tolerate because she was trying to have a private appointment.
hmm but the nurse, when the reception came out, the security guard still had the phone in her hand. So that proved that a phone was in her hand, where it should be
Okay.
nowhere in your hand. And when she couldn't even de-escalate it, and she was in fact cut by the guard by mistake. Didn't press no charges because she was like, they're just pointing. So it was an accident. And the doctor ended up coming out from his office in the back because he heard that it was still going on. He heard it from his office.
That means it got beyond too loud.
They was
And,
both cussing it like hell back at each other. Everybody said that. They was cussing like heck back at each other, back and forth.
but I
Mhm.
don't understand how that case even made it to court. What type of lawyers is playing games right now? Is this just because it's Cardi? Because it makes no sense to me If that would have been anyone else, it never would have made it to court, nor would that young lady have walked around as a security guard with a cell phone in her hand, which I am almost 100% sure is against the rules of the job.
You're supposed to not be distracted. You're not supposed to have a cell phone. That's why they give you walkie-talkie and stuff like that. No, you're
Right,
not.
because if you're on your phone, then that means you're not securing.
Mhm. But I will say, legally and regardless, if you are in the wrong and somebody attacks you and actually did those things, you are still protected. But this is how you are protected legally. This girl is in the state of California. It's a couple things she didn't do that's actually weird. So let me walk you through the process.
Okay.
Person hurts themselves on the job. Doesn't matter if they're right, wrong, or indifferent. You could be completely wrong. But the first thing you do, if you claim you have a cut, how did the
If you
receptionist
take
not see any?
pictures,
How did the receptionist not see any blood, and the doctor didn't see any blood, nor your boss when they let you go? That's number one. So that's a tip. But the first thing you would have done because you hurt yourself at work is you're going to file a workers' comp claim.
period, because you're in the state of California.
That's the first thing you're going to do. So, reason number one, this should have never made it to court. There is no workers' comp claim. That's number one. I don't, again, you could be breaking in and hurt yourself and you could sue somebody out here. So if you hurt yourself at work and your job has nothing to do with a ladder, and I pulled out a ladder and I got on and my job has nothing, I'm a project manager. If I hurt myself, they're not going to say that was nowhere in your job description to do that. Now, can I get in trouble? Yeah, they're probably going to terminate me, but I could still sue them. And it's workers' comp.
What?
So you could do
And
both.
see, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
That was good clocking tea for me.
That's the first
Jeez
thing you should have did.
Louise.
Second thing that she could have done on her own is why didn't you go? This is a big celebrity. You're trying to note this. Y'all been going back and forth in the hallway. The receptionist then jumped in and got in between y'all and told you you need to stop. The doctor then checked you and told you need to stop. They done went down there and filed a report. Second thing, why did you go to the ER?
Immediately, you cannot say you was hurt on the job and don't have no doctor's paperwork to co-sign what you're saying.
This is
That'll
Cardi B.
never work.
You know daggone well you're gonna sue because it's
And
Cardi
it,
B.
you're suing because she got the money, not even for no other reason. So therefore, you should have done everything to make sure that you could win your case,
Mhm.
which was go to the doctor, take mad pictures,
She
file a
lost
report.
them.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
In 2018, we had a cloud. I still have my phones, and I still am capable of getting the stuff through
And
G
why would
whatever
you
thing
erase
you have.
that particular
But
situation?
you didn't put those under lock and key.
Correct. That sounds like some BS. I have every last one of my phones.
But even so, that in particular, and you lost your job. You mean to tell me you didn't take no pictures? You knew you were gonna sue. Hmm.
So
You
I
did.
believe you took pictures, and I just believe that the evidence isn't clear for what you're saying. So therefore, those pictures are null and void.
So,
Which is why you lied and said you deleted them. Because the only pictures you really had was you trying to prove that you just met Cardi B.
uh-huh. And I believe if they would have subpoenaed her records and actually dug for those things, if but the case is not big enough to do something like that, they would have found that exact thing. She took a picture. Of course she did. Um, the next thing that she didn't do is she claims that she was a security guard in pursuit of uh, wanting to become a police officer, but because this particular thing happened, uh, sorry, twin. Oh, that's what happened. How was it even able to make it to court? Exactly, twin. You work in the medical field. You know that this is not okay. If anybody on that premises that is attached to that medical office, even security that's hired for the building, you're responsible. HIPAA, everything. Exactly, twin. So the next thing she didn't do, these are things that would have covered her, that Cardi B's lawyer should have asked for me. We know why the other lawyer took it. I mean, that lawyer, bless his heart. But we know why he took it because it had her name on it.
Correct.
The other lawyers took it because they needed to protect her. However, you did not protect her because it should have never went to court. And y'all made a bankroll off of this girl for being there all of this time. And she was in there. Listen, look at how she was in there. First of all, I think she's pregnant because this is pregnancy sleepy. Look at this.
She says she wants some.
Blood of Jesus. Why do I keep doing that?
It's okay.
It's not the right one, guys. She
I
was falling asleep in court, though. I mean, like
really.
this. Yeah, in
Wow.
closing arguments. It was funny as hell. But, child, that's what you do when you're in the limelight. I don't want no part of it. Waking up at 4 and 5 in the morning so you could get your wig done and get your makeup done and do all of these things because you know you can't make one mistake.
Yeah, that's
That's too
awful.
much. She was doing that every day. And they have the nerve to mention her wig. Is it her real hair? They be doing too much to celebrities. You put them under all of this damn pressure, but you didn't pressure and find correct and adequate records for your client. Okay.
Mm.
Next thing she could have done, since her brain don't work, but I'm clearly making fun of that because it's not true. It's not documented anywhere. She didn't even go to a therapist.
Oh
Okay,
wow.
let's say you do feel like that. Raise your hands if you live anywhere near LA and you can basically drive down the street and find a doctor to just put you off of work because you stubbed your pinky toe. So she could have even faked that and filed for short-term disability. Number 3, and why they shouldn't have taken the case. She didn't even go file for disability or nothing. That means she's fine to keep working, right? You're not hurt. Hmm. In the state of California,
Sounds like you full of it. Look, sounds like you're full of it, biscuit.
I'm just saying. And the last two. Let's spend time on the last two. You sued Cardi, but you didn't sue the building owner or your manager or your boss for wrongful termination because you said you're the one who was attacked. You skipped them. Okay. And you didn't sue the lawyer who or the doctor who came and told you to get your butt back to where you should be. How you didn't sue them?
Right. That don't even go together.
You skipped all of that
Because all of them should have been in the lawsuit.
because you could have done all of them. If what
All
you
of them.
say is true and the doctor physically came out of his office, walked straight to you, who was standing by the elevator, and said, "Get back on this elevator and go downstairs." Now, the girl is light like Cardi. So you want me to believe it was blood anywhere on her face and that man didn't see it?
I don't believe you. I do not believe you.
The receptionist didn't see it?
And
The boss?
nobody filed a report against Cardi because of it, which they all would have to maybe to protect you, maybe not.
Oh, you have
But
to.
they would have done it to protect themselves.
That's the part. Because I walked out and saw this, damn, now I have to say something. To which the doctor and the receptionist did go downstairs because the building manager was in that day. They went downstairs and they put in a report.
Oh.
So guys, I don't know what it's like in other states. I have done or have delivered separations in other states, but I can't remember what the paperwork looked like if it was any different, but I don't think so. But in California, when you get your separation paperwork, there's a space for you to write in anything you want to write in, and you don't have to sign it. Signing it just says you received it. It doesn't say that you agree. I suggest that if there's anything like this that ever happens, this was alleged, but anything that ever happens on your way out, you're supposed to write it on that paper because you're going to need that later. Why would you just leave an open and clear document of what somebody said? Even if you have to sit there and attach a paper and go line for line and say, this is not true, this is true, this is wrong, that's not the date. That is a legal document. On that paperwork, why didn't she put her grievances there? And she emailed the supervisor later saying that she apologized for her behavior.
Oh no, you didn't do that, did you? How? Why would anyone take this case to make it to court?
Y'all see why I said the lawyers are scam artists as well? Because you could have gotten this thrown out and it should have never seen the light of day.
But you
Cardi
wasn't
doesn't even
attached to it.
live here. So she had to be here to go through that case. That's just a waste of money. She had I saw three people on her side that I can remember: a woman, a guy, a man with white hair, and then another guy with a little bit darker hair was sitting next to her. You have to pay all of them as well. Her
Correct,
kids
because
started
don't
school.
nobody
She
just
out
hang
here.
out with you.
I don't understand.
I hate that for her.
I'm not even rich and fancy like them or have the amount of years of experience that they have. This is HR and supervisor 101. Some of this stuff is HR, but we all study. Well, if you went to college, let me just say that. If you went to college, you studied employee law. If you went into that field, if you didn't and you just grown in HR, it's some things you might not know. But I could tell you one that you know for sure, and even a supervisor knows. I hope Ro knows this. You're supposed to know this. If somebody hurts themselves on the job, you have 12 or 24 hours to report it. The sooner, the better. If somebody hurts themselves drastically, you take them straight for a drug test. It's certain things that you have a very small window to take somebody. And if there was any what do you call it, blood, but anything that was coming from her, it could have been like something coming from the eye. If you saw spit on them, if you saw any of those things, you have to take them to the ER because you want to make sure that they're okay. um if somebody hurts themselves and you think that they're under the influence, you take them right away so they can get um a substance test. But it's certain things that in the state of California, you have to do right away. That's why I'm like, none of this makes sense. And where she lives, she don't look completely green. I'ma just be honest. They spent more time calling people saying things like, will you come and the girl called the receptionist and asked her if she would testify, and she was like, I don't, it wouldn't be in your best interest. So you still on a high that much that either one of two things: it hadn't completely sunk in what happened, but then why apologize if it hadn't completely sunk in what happened? Or two, I think it was more like, let's do this together. And then she was gone, like break her off. Because after the employee security guard did not be able to get through to the receptionist, the lawyer actually works across the street, the lawyer for the security guard. He walked over a couple of times and left his card, or had an associate walk over and leave a card because they wanted to speak with them, but they weren't willing to speak with them. But even the doctors, y'all, you could tell the doctor was real like green. He told the truth. Like even when they asked, can you tell what was being said? It was cuss words flying everywhere. He was like stuff I never even heard before. Like he told the truth about both. Mm.
I'm hollering.
But hell, even Cardi did. You see what she said when they said, what did she say? FUBITCH. She said what she said. She told the truth. And when they asked, why didn't you like make a complaint? She was like, because she didn't touch me and I didn't touch her. It was a yelling match, to be honest. After I made it into the doctor's office, I was more concerned about that. I wasn't even tripping no more. Arguing is like, it was no big deal. She didn't hit me and I didn't hit her. So I let it go. I didn't ask for her to be fired or nothing. And that's the truth.
But
The
she didn't even
doctor
have to ask for her to be fired. The reality is, girl, what you did was automatically terms
for
for,
separation.
yeah, like what are you
At the top of
saying?
the list is the very first thing that you said, the phone being in the hand.
Like I
Because
couldn't get past that. Like I couldn't get past that. I'm not.
because you're supposed to be paying attention. So if you was on the clock, well, even if you had your phone to your ear and you was telling somebody, is your phone supposed to be out at all? And
No.
Cardi said she
And
moved it
then
from here to here and said my bad, but then kept following her. I think you might maybe she had one of those ear things in, and the person probably told her um to antagonize her. Because she's known
right,
for
they
throwing
wanted to
pins and
rile
shit.
her up.
Yeah, she's known for throwing shit and stuff. But I don't think it's unfair. Some of these celebrities, they be going through it. And they people like us. We wouldn't let nobody do certain that kind of stuff to us.
Right, you're only following this girl because she's Cardi B. She's famous.
Right.
You ain't never met a famous person a day in your damn life. You're finally glad that it happened. Unfortunately, the biggest issue with the fame is that you would like to take out the time to show so much appreciation to a famous person as if to say that they really know you, and you expect this gratitude from them and they don't have it. And
But
then all of a
there's
sudden
even that
now,
would have been different. If you said, "Oh my gosh, I'm a big fan. I'm happy to meet you." That's different.
you didn't even do that.
You weren't showing gratitude. You was just that's very
Most
and
likely you're a hater and you was just
if you see
messing.
the girl, I mean, she's very pretty to me. She's very pretty. But if you see her, I just think certain girls in LA have that stuck up behavior, and she looks like she may be of the same ethnicity and everything as Cardi B. Um,
Also,
just
you're a hater. Is all I
I
heard.
think she's a hater. I do. I don't think she's.
That's all I heard.
And at the top of it, just think like how guy was. The attorney was asking her, so you are aware that a security guard in a building has authority. Her response was right. Not one that's not acting professional. That's compromising my safety now. That's completely different. And it is. We're the biggest part is this not that you was at a restaurant doing this, which would also be invasion of privacy, but you're in a building that's completely covered. That is a building for people to go to the doctor. You can't do the same things that you would do outside of that building. They're and actually on the property, I believe, I think the outside security can't do those things either because all of that ground until you get to the public sidewalk is covered by HIPAA.
Exactly. Like these is people's private businesses and information
Right.
sitting out here in your face. Not to mention the petty side of me. Here we go. Honey, not only what if it was another person that saw Cardi from the street and wanted to try to come mess her up, and you're supposed to be security and you a problem your damn self. Now how that go together?
Because you're not paying attention. You on your phone. So how are you paying attention to the whole rest of the other building? At what point, to your point, if you truly felt like that, that's another great point. You didn't call for backup. You didn't call for nothing. You didn't go straight downstairs and tell your own supervisor. You didn't call right away. You had your phone in your hand. You didn't call so that it could be heard. You did nothing. No, you couldn't because you couldn't get off the phone with whoever you was on the phone with. But they probably only had one phone. They not like me. See, if I get called and I hear something bad, just so y'all know, I'll start recording for my person.
You better
I do.
know.
And then I send them the recording. Like, here you go. Because some of these people is crazy. I do. But the girl phone never left her hand. So that was also proof by the place that she did have, because how did you still have it in your hand? You was holding on to that phone like glue, saying you could do what you want to do. Them seeing that phone, knowing about HIPAA and knowing where she was, automatically got her X'd out. So how if it got you automatically put out of the building, because I don't care what's going on, you're the one in the wrong based on these two elements. Number one, you on the phone. Number two, you're cussing back at somebody. You cannot cuss back. Security guard, police officer, whoever, you actually are not supposed to cuss. You're the one on the clock. You're the one that's being professional. So while they asking her all of these things, did she know what rules apply because it was a security guard? Did the security guard know? Because she on her phone and she cussing. I didn't know you could get in a person's face like that and you had her backed up against the wall.
That's crazy work to me. Like I just really feel like, girl, that was the wackest quick come up that you tried to make that put you in
Mhm.
more debt than you can afford as a security guard at that.
Yep,
If
because
you're
one
not
of the
securing
doctors charged
somebody
her
like Cardi B,
17,000.
right? If you're not even securing somebody like Cardi B, girl, you're not making no damn money. It's crazy work. They don't think nobody's really gonna come in there, so you don't get paid worth a damn.
Well,
You are
and
a
in the
good
state of
look
California,
trophy.
you actually can't do anything to the person. I respect all security guards. Thank you for doing the things that you can do. Whatever you can do, I respect anybody in their role. However, let's talk about that because she said she was wanting to be, she was a security guard because she one day wanted to be a police officer. And now she has PTSD from this Cardi B thing. First of all, I would like to say for all of LA County, yes, LA County, thank you for not becoming a police officer. Because if this scared you and you grew up where you grew up, anywhere near LA County, I would like to know how that gave you PTSD. Please and thank you for never be. I hope you never become a police officer because you would be one of them people to hurt somebody by saying, I'm trying to make it home every day. You couldn't handle this little bit of
Girl, you
authority
will be
that
the
you
one
have.
that's pulling the trigger, and we'll be
Girl,
sitting over here looking at you like, bae, there was no gun. What did you do that for?
that's what I mean.
Like,
She's
you're an
scary.
idiot. And
No,
the reality is, you did better just trying to be a fucking fan and falling and suing the place you work for. Because the idea that you just sat over here and made a scene with no evidence, and knowing, like, if I lived in California still, I would definitely be more up to date with the HR rules
right.
because they do exist, right? Like, for real, for real. And
Mhm.
I'm just looking like, you humans are weird and you don't do nothing. And that was one of the main reasons I did not want to open up a business in California, because people will find a way to sue you for anything
Yes. And if you
and
don't
get
have the
away
money to
with
fight
it.
it, it's hard.
And just get away with it. Ain't no telling how many businesses are still open because of these cases that they just cashed out because they could, just to
It's
keep
so
the
many
peace.
businesses closed, Des. It's so many businesses closed. It's
My
ridiculous.
God.
Between snatch and grab or crash and grab, whatever that's called, and stuff like this, and our insurance, my insurance has gone up 33% in 1 year. And mine is supposed to go down because I've had my insurance for a while, no incidents, my age, all of that. Nope, my
Mm-hmm.
insurance went up because of so much that's happening.
Mm.
I don't know. But yes, I need people to start. Listen, at the top of the list, even if you didn't know these things, sometimes it's a good idea to just ask questions exactly the way that you have them in your head. Because a lot of times, because you have common sense, you're strategic, you're analytical, you're scared, whatever the reason, you do have questions. And a lot of the questions that people have will lead to good answers and lead to calling people out. Because the first thing that should have been asked, I mean, I can't believe Cardi B didn't ask none of these questions. She didn't sue them.
Now,
She didn't go, she don't have no records. Y'all better make sure that this don't go to court. That's all I'm paying you for is to make sure this don't go to court
she did,
because
but you got to understand the mindset of Cardi B.
she didn't
Cardi
have
B
any proof, friend. Like that alone
doesn't
is
matter.
crazy.
My thing is,
What do you mean?
baby, first of all, Cardi, are you sure you didn't touch the girl? But Cardi is pregnant, so I'm sure she did not touch the girl.
No, that's what she
Like,
said. She was younger. That's 2018. It was her first pregnancy. The reason why she was there to begin with is because she felt funny and got scared and didn't want to wait till she got all the way back to New Jersey or Atlanta.
okay.
Yeah, she was like, no, she said that. She was like, what do I? She was like, I'm by myself. How am I gonna fight her? She's bigger than me. She would beat me up.
And Cardi is looking at this young lady like, I know you're a fan.
At first.
I I was stupid like you at one point in my life. She's still looking at her like this. That's why she
So
didn't
I
sue her.
didn't even file no charge. She didn't even countersue.
Exactly. She didn't do
But she gave
anything
a
because
warning
she
though.
felt sorry for the girl because
She
Cardi
did.
remembered the time that she was
Right.
just like that. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So the girl got grace,
Right.
first of all, and don't even know it. And then Cardi is hood as the entire fuck. So I don't think that she was really thinking logical in this situation. And these lawyers, oh my God, that was just a pimp move. Because why wasn't the lawyers asking these questions? This girl pays them to do that. She shouldn't have had to think of the questions that should have been asked to squash this situation. And then you can only imagine what underlying things we don't know about that made this
That's
go to
why I
court.
said this is a lawyer scam to me because how
Definitely.
this is 101. This is literally how you go through the process when you're terminated. So how
I,
are these things that's not asked? And anybody that works in California knows most of these things. You don't know that if you hurt yourself at work is workers' comp? Most people know that. I don't care what language you speak, you know that.
but
Um,
when you're outside contractor working for a company, how does that work?
you sue.
You just sue the company
Mhm,
that you work for.
mhm.
Oh,
Which
but
is why that was at the end, the suing, because you would go through all of those things first, because that's guaranteed, right? If you really hurt yourself at work, you want your money to start coming in, you want your treatment to be paid for, you want all of those things, and you want it all in one singular place. That's workers' comp, and the company should be paying for it. That's why that's important. You could do workers' comp and sue the company. You could do workers' comp and sue the doctor. That's why I'm saying that's at the ground level. That's what you do at the ground level. If you having issues and workers' comp don't pick it up, then and you really hurt yourself, and your doctor says you hurt yourself, and it's not a part of workers' comp, then you file for short-term disability. You can't do short-term disability and workers' comp. Those are two different things, two different doctors. You can't do it. But suing,
mm.
suing, you can sue. You can sue but those things need to be done first and right away. You could do that the day something happens to you, which is why for workers' comp, you're supposed to take your employee and file the report. Um, there's
Cause
like a
your
three
real
or four
beef
page, huh?
should have been with the job. Your beef should have been with your job because you was in this situation because of your job,
You was in a
right?
situation with yourself. But if you hurt
Period. No.
again, if even if it's for your own reason, if you hurt yourself on the job, you can still do workers' comp.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. But I guess I'm saying though, like I think, girl,
Her first
you should
level
have
should have
found a
been him.
better reason to sue. Your reasoning is why you lost your case.
Girl, you should have heard her when they was like, "Tell us, how this has affected you." She was like, I have depression. I have insomnia. I have PTSD. I have, I don't sleep at night. I'm like, what did you read in the back of a bottle? That's like
My lord.
basic shit that people say. And you have PTSD? Girl, do you realize how bad you messed yourself up? This is a case that was actually on YouTube. It was being televised as it was happening. Are you aware that this could go on your record? So if you wanted to be a certain type of nurse, you might not be able to. If you wanted to work in certain spaces, you would probably need psychological clearance now.
And I definitely don't think you're gonna get to be a cop in the real life now. While you over here lying, because the cop is never what you was trying to do, being a security guard. And yes, thank you, security guards. Nobody is judging the security guard itself.
But please don't be no police officer if you finna
Okay,
act like that.
that's all I'm saying. Pipe down, and take several seats because that just doesn't go together. And so, matter of fact, quit insulting other security guards that's actually doing their job
That part. Just
because that's
actually
what this
making sure
is.
rules is followed when it's things that need to be executed, that they properly do it, that they secure people, that they take care of emergency evacuation plans. There are real things that security guards do. So her even be why are you on the fifth floor when you should be on the first? Now I understand some people might say, well, you're walking, you're walking the floor for certain things. Okay, but that wasn't the reason. Because again, she was on her phone. If you truly started at the bottom, because she did, you started at the bottom and went to the top, shouldn't you? Why were you on your phone? If you were entering the building, I would even say if you were outside the building walking up, one would assume that you were on break. I could assume that if you have your phone outside. But once you cross and come in here and start talking and telling what to do, you're immediately on the clock because you just started working. I
And
don't care if you say, hey, do you need some help?
I mean,
You're
and
on the
like
clock.
the phone, it's just the phone for me. I'm trying to
It's the
understand.
phone at the
The,
doctor's office when they close the office down on a Saturday for me.
oh, okay. So you knew that if
Mhm.
the doctor's office was closed, something was big finna happen.
And
Why
she was
you?
the last patient. Even if she was just going for a regular OBGYN check. Like, I don't have to tell you, oh, because the security guard didn't know that she was pregnant. She hadn't told no her parents or nothing at that point. So, ma'am, and they were like, why was it a big deal? She was like, because this is private. I'm protecting my private and sacred pregnancy. I was like, did he really ask that question? The question that the prosecution was asked just completely set her up for every mother on the planet Earth, every woman who aspires to be a mother to look, and every father to be like, that's just horrible. How could you do that to her? That's true. Because pregnancy is critical from the beginning. You could find out one day you're pregnant and you could totally miscarry the next day. She could have been arguing and she could have miscarried. Anything could have
That fight
happened.
could have made her go left.
She could have miscarried. That's not, it's a big deal. And for her to be a woman too and get up there and still pursue after you know that she was pregnant, she was going to a OBGYN. What was you trying to capture? If she had a disease or something, like whatever it was, what is wrong with you? I don't
Mary
understand
had a
it.
little lamb. What is wrong with you?
Waited, you could have waited in your car until she came out. Um, if she came out that same way and asked for an autograph, I mean, I don't know. You could have did a lot of different things. You're a lady, and it was only y'all in there. You could have, like to your point, said, can we please go outside in a building with nothing behind us and take a picture, just our face only? Like you could say that kind of stuff because I have with celebrities before. Because you don't want them to know where you like if you at a hotel, they want to make sure you don't post it, while you're there.
Right, and that's respectful.
That's I don't post while I'm at most places anyways, but if you turn against a wall or something like that, I don't know. It was better than following her with your camera because you was trying to put her on media takeout.
Right,
That
because
wasn't
that's some stalker shit. You was really trying to be petty. You wasn't a fan. You was an asshole.
I don't think she was a fan friend. I don't think she
That's what
was.
I just said. You wasn't a fan. You
Yeah,
was a complete asshole. You was trying to really put her business outside.
she was. Because who says you gonna get out my building? Girl, what building you own? That's not your building.
You barely got a job here. Stupid.
People verbiage be getting on my nerves. You gotta be very careful. Whatever. Well, to recap, business owners, if somebody hurts themselves at work, I don't care if you on your way to walk and terminate them. Workers comp. Okay? Short-term disability is what she should have applied for if she was, all distraught mentally. Girl, we argue in LA like that all the time, which is why you and her was able to keep up with each other going back and forth and it was equal on both sides. And Cardi walked away like a G and you walked away.
Mad.
Don't tell nobody you from LA area, girl. We cuss people out for fun. And you just got on up there like that. Anyway, you didn't go to the ER. If something truly happened and your job won't send you or identify your workers' comp, go straight to the ER. That way you can add them to the list of people that you're going to sue later.
Oh,
Protect
okay.
yourself. You can get way more money than which, girl, wait, short-term disability. You should have been so distraught with PTSD, according to you, that you was at your office and they have to put you out on short-term disability. But Asia, she was already fired. So what? You could still file for short-term disability and not unemployment. Just so you
Mm.
know. And girl. which you can still do if you want to. I don't know how far I will go because you really showed your ass with this one and getting rid of all the evidence. So you can't miraculously have it now. You backed yourself into a hole. You could have sued the building, your job, because those could be two different people. The security, that could be outside security, and you could be a vendor. Could sue everybody because
Mm,
they didn't believe you and ask you first. It was no investigation. It was no nothing. That must mean you
mm,
was really showing your ass. But nonetheless, guess what? In the state of California, we still have to, unless we see some really, really bad stuff, most of the time, most of us will suspend you. We'll suspend you for a couple days and then separate you because we have to have your check ready as soon as we separate you to put in your hand. That's how you
right,
guys get the
because we
3 day
don't ever want to
suspension.
see you again.
That's how you get the 3 day suspension. And if I think y'all gonna jump over the counter at one of my people, I'm a FedEx that sucker to you and call you early in the morning.
Right, and I'm not gonna even fire you. I'm not even gonna let you waste your gas. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do you the favor, and because that's the one thing I used to hate while living in California.
You will let you drive all the way in.
The way they fire you is so god awful. Like, bruh, if you're firing me, why do you think I got gas to waste to show back up here?
Well, that's why we pay you for the day.
Mm, some of y'all.
That part right there. So in case you get
Mm-mm.
in case
I
you are
don't miss
suspended
those
for three
days.
days. Now with COVID and so much virtual stuff, though, a lot more people will actually do it virtual. But if you have property and things like that that you need to turn in, more than likely that is the reason why they're having you come in. They need to get the badge. They need to get these things. They need to have you sign for your final check and make sure that you got it. Stuff like that. But that is why you'll get paid either. Some places can pay two. It depends on your job. 2, 4, or 8 hours. Most of the time, for me, I will be honest, I didn't care what role you worked in. If you were the janitor, I just paid you for 8 because I feel like driving at that time of the morning, getting up, getting dressed, being in traffic, give them a day.
Well, that was nice of
That's
you,
how I
but
feel.
most folks do not. They're petty,
I've
especially
never
when
been
they have
sued.
the ability to be petty.
That's why I've never been sued. That is not a space to be petty. I'm a really good supervisor and a really good manager. I don't do those things because this is the thing. People forget above everything. Y'all make these people mad, and y'all do understand your itty bitty parking lot is not that gas station down the street where they can meet you
Mm,
and
mm,
beat you up.
mm.
Most of y'all
You're
don't have
only
working cameras
protecting.
in your parking lot, and you come out and your little tires is flat. Why you want to piss people off? And why do you want to dehumanize people? It's already bad enough. Listen, I have never wanted to terminate anybody because I've had a few to get on my nerves so bad it made me just, it's nothing else I could do for this person. At this point, I'm going to snap, right?
Mhm,
But for me, it was, we can't find nothing else for them to do that actually fit in because this is their livelihood. And I, for some reason, never forgot the same person that sat across from me and really needed a job. In California, it's not easy. Um,
mm-mm.
it's not easy. I'll have to on the on an impromptu show. I have to tell you about the older guy that we hired that was having sake and cocktails with the 18-year-olds
I know you
on lunch
lying.
on lunch break, and they was having pool parties, and the girl got a card and wanted to become full time. She tricked him into becoming full time so that she could go straight as soon as her FSA money loaded to her card. She went straight and got her braces put on. And then she told him to drop her back down to part time because the balance would go away. If you went part time or you quit, the money went away and we never collected it. And then she just worked part time the rest of the time she was there. And so I said, why did you do that? That's very not okay. And we from the same place. So, I know that you did that on purpose. But why would you do something like that? Now you can't get promoted. That's really going to mess up your character at work. And she said a better question is why X.
Mm. Why he let me, huh?
I said, what did you just say? So I have to tell y'all that story one day. It is some very interesting stories in HR. I'm trying to tell you. HR, ER, it is some very interesting stories. But that one was top tier because did you really get us to just pay for your braces?
And did, and then
You
snitched
just
on
have to
somebody
really
on
try
her
for
way
this
out the
job.
door.
Child, I guess she's gonna take somebody with her. So that is it for us tonight. Hopefully you learned some things, especially if you stay in California and Google in your state to see what those things are. But those things I just named are across the board. They're across the board. The only one that is not across the board is short-term disability. It's a couple of states that don't have it. I think Nevada's one of them. If you don't pay state taxes, you don't have short-term disability. It shouldn't even come out of your check. You should have your own. If you work union and work for the post office, you don't have short-term disability. You should have it on your own, and you can file it that way, but not through the state, where the company helps pay for it. No, because you don't pay into it. So that is it from me. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, as well as visit Amazon to buy one of my three. No, it's two journals and one planner, and another journal is coming out next week. Yes, last words from you.
Oh, honey, this was a good tea. I appreciate all this good info as a business owner who is growing and knowing that the more you grow, the more people come for you no matter what you got going on. They have no idea of the actual struggle of a business owner in any form, whether it's a musician, a stylist, a company owner. It is a very, very tedious, stressful situation to need employees, want to employ people, and pay
Mhm.
them for their services, and then have to worry and wonder who's really there for the underhanded things that goes on in their brain
Right.
that you may or may not be prepared for. That is very too much for
It's
me,
stressful.
actually. I'm over here like, ma'am, I thought about you saying come to California, and I'm like, girl, no, I don't want to. I think I might have to live in Birmingham and visit more often, catch a flight,
It is very easy to cover yourself, though.
Right. Well, that's what friends are for. Isn't God good? Amen. I got a grand friend. But let me be clear. Cardi should have pulled out her damn phone. That's what should have happened. And returned that damn camera back on her.
Yeah, I think she was just so surprised.
She was in shock and she is
Because they said it
pregnant.
was in a short window that this happened.
And
If they
you were
said it
very
wasn't more than 3 minutes.
disrespectful. The fact
Mhm.
is that girl was pregnant and she was already scared for what she
Right.
had going on the inside of her. And so I can only
Because she's not
imagine.
that old. She was in her 20s.
Right. And let's
First
be very
pregnancy,
clear.
parents don't know. Away from
Cardi came on
home.
the scene letting us know she bout that life. So I know that you were trying to trigger this young lady to
I
flip out
believe
on
that.
you, but she still had enough respect for herself.
Right. Not to hurt her baby.
Not only to not hurt her baby, but to not hurt you in return.
I don't know if she really cared about that. See, we're going to call a spade a spade. If that was me and I was just
Okay.
going in for a regular check, mm, you're just a security guard. I won't get in trouble like a real person. I'd have probably bopped you. If you back me into a corner,
Right. That cut you claim you got might have been real.
y'all got 5 seconds to get out here because it's self-defense. I'm backed into a corner. They already have self-defense ready for Cardi's testimony as well because it is. They the receptionist testified that when she came outside, she had to get in between them. Cardi was against the wall. The girl was right here. She was coming from this direction, and she knows that Cardi was against the wall because the girl was sticking out. It's a little piece around the corner, like a when you have a podium sticking out or something. And
Hmm.
she said she didn't see Cardi; she saw the girl. But as she came around, then she saw her. That and here's the thing: don't forget, they're not in court with each other. That's not information that she gave. If they talked beforehand and the girl got cashed out, then the girl got cashed out. Because guess what? I mean, the receptionist for being on Cardi's side. If they all lied, you mean to tell? Well, I mean, the girl was suing her for $24 million. So
I mean, and they wasn't suing for anything. So the
anything. So if she
reality
offered
is,
them five to lie, she still made out.
and she still made out with a better settlement than paying
But
that
I
heifer
don't
for the
think they
lie.
would have lied. What doctor gonna risk his stuff? And he's actually a Doctor Two celebrity. She actually moved on and has a better job and everything now. I don't. That don't make sense. But maybe they
Oh,
did
the
throw in a
girl
couple
has
of
a
things.
better job now.
The receptionist does, and the other girl gonna say, I moved on and got a better job anyway, because they asked her why she didn't, fight or whatever. Oh, I moved on and got a better job. So you can completely forget about everything you're supposed to do again for this company, but not for Cardi. Anyway, child, that's too much for me, honey. You didn't play chess, checkers, Scrabble, goldfish,
Mm,
Uno. You didn't play I Declare War. You didn't play nothing well, little girl. Do better next time. And saying you don't take nothing back, you know what happened. Well, you couldn't prove it by any means. And the scars she tried to show,
I'm weak. You don't have no scars.
I don't on my face.
You do not.
How you
You do.
being fight that don't have no scars on your face? That's by the way. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. We out of here. Stay on this. We out of here. Bye bye.
Love
Good
y'all.
night.
Bye.